morning, everyone. It's Craig Studnicky welcoming you to the next episode on our Insider Series. Today we're with Elizabeth Margulis of the Aventura and Weston office. Lovely to have you here with us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
No, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And by the way, we're in the new Hilton Aventura Miami. It's right next to the RelatedISG office here in Aventura. And I have to tell you something, it's one of the nicest Hilton hotels I've ever seen anywhere. So whenever you have a chance, if you have friends that are coming in from out of town, I encourage you to guide them to this facility. The lunch here, the restaurant is fantastic. It's, I don't know, probably at least a 2-star Michelin rating. The food is exceptional. The service is great. Enough of the Hilton. You're going to really be impressed with this facility.
They also have a great gym.
And they have a great gym. And who would know that but an Aventura specialist like Elizabeth Margulis, who I'm really here to talk about her more than the Hilton anyway. So nice of you to be here today.
Thank you, Craig.
So you are originally from Venezuela, but when I was talking to you earlier, I thought you were from the Northeast U.S. because of the cadence of your English.
All right.
Explain to everybody, if you will, when you got here, and how is it that you're a nice girl like you from Venezuela speaks English as well as you do?
All right, Craig. I was born and raised in Venezuela from a Venezuelan father and an American mother. My mother was from New York. So, as I said before, probably my first language was English.
And they met at the University of Indiana?
They met at the University of Indiana, yes.
Right.
And then they got married. And
College
went to live in
sweethearts.
Venezuela.
How nice.
That's right, yes.
They got married and your dad took your mom to Venezuela?
So, yeah, well, that didn't last too long. She ran back to New York.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't live without New York.
It's kind of hard. New York is New York. I was just there this weekend for Memorial Day, and it's if you're hearing rumors that New York is back or it's trying to get back,
It is.
It is. It's
Yeah,
true.
we know.
Yeah,
And,
the mood there is so upbeat.
After July 4th, even more. I mean, Broadway is opening.
Yeah, soon, like
September.
August and September, and that's when you're going to know it's really, really back. But the sidewalks, the whole mood, the atmosphere, the energy is back. So it is kind of hard if you're from New York.
It's great to go there on vacation. Live here, go there on vacation, go to the theater, come back to the heat, to the summer, to the beach.
It's true.
There's nothing beats Miami.
You're kind of describing my life. That's what I
Yeah.
get. Because my daughter lives in the city, and my son lives on Long Island, so I get to have New York and kind of both extremes. But anyway, so you moved here when? In the early 2000s?
Yeah, 2002 there was oil strike in Venezuela, and many Venezuelans left. Many went back. Some of us stayed. Of course, as an American citizen, I had the opportunity to stay. My ex-husband said, "Let's go back. The oil strike is over." I said, "No way. I love it here. Already living in not Miami, but Weston. When we first moved here, we moved to Weston, and we lived there for 12 years." And, I had no business going back to a country that I knew that you could see that was crumbling, starting to crumble. And I wasn't wrong. I mean, look how the situation is in Venezuela now. I mean, I'm so glad I raised my kids here. They're Americans. They know how to manage in this.
Can we touch on Venezuela for 1 second? Because my history taught me that in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, maybe even the 80s, Venezuela was the shining star.
Oh yes,
of
correct.
South America.
Venezuela was booming. It was the best place to be in South America, and it was better than anywhere. I mean, you could have a great life. You could work. You could produce. You could travel. Venezuelans were regarded very highly all over the world, and everybody had a property in Miami. But it was a vacation property. We loved coming here with the kids. We loved coming here shopping and, of course, going to Disney World. But after we were done with our vacation and our shopping and our Disney World, we would go back to Venezuela because it was the place to be. It was the place where you could produce enough money to go on long vacations every single year. We never thought we had to give it up. We never did. Unfortunately, that government took over. And it's finished. I mean, there's nothing else to do there.
The Chavez government came into power in the late 90s, followed by Maduro. And it is what it is today. What, in your opinion, as a Venezuelan, what does the future look like for Venezuela?
Well, it's very dark and gloom. It's really sad. As a Venezuelan, I love the country. It's a beautiful country with a lot of natural resources. The tourism, there's nothing like it. but it's completely destroyed. So in order to rebuild that, it's going to take so much. I mean, first this government needs to
completely switch.
and then you start rebuilding, and that can take decades. We don't even know. I mean, I don't think I will see it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I understand. It's kind of sad. As you're talking, I'm reminded of an old expression from my late mother. She used to say that there's never a bad wind that doesn't blow somebody some good. And it's unfortunate, deeply unfortunate, what happened in Venezuela. But look what it meant to Miami.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
so many Venezuelans relocated here.
We have a huge community here of Venezuelans living mainly in Aventura, Sunny Isles, El Doral, Coral Gables, and Weston. Those are the places Venezuelans come to.
But you said when you first got into real estate, you were living in Weston.
Yes.
You lived there for what, 12 years?
12 years.
So,
I loved Weston.
And as you told me, you know it like the back of your hand.
Like the back of my hand. Yes.
So you consider yourself, at least I consider you, not just an expert in Aventura, and you are. I actually thought you are. To me, you're our queen of Aventura. You're the one that knows
I love
more
that,
about.
Craig.
No, but it's true. Every time I talk to you, every time I listen to you on any of our company Zoom calls, you know more about what's going on in Aventura and Sunny Isles than almost anybody in RelatedISG.
That's true. I know every building in Aventura, every building in Sunny Isles. You know, I have a story for you. The other day, I was having lunch with a friend in Houston. You know, in the back of Houston, you can go out and look at the skyline of Sunny Isles.
It's beautiful. I know what you mean.
And my friend's like, so which building do you recommend me to buy? So I went one by one, explaining the name and when was it built and who built it. And
it was a developer, yeah.
And do I like it there? And how many bedrooms should I buy? And how's the layout? I knew every single building. And I know every single building in Aventura as well. Which is great.
No, and I thought that, and as you know, Carolina, Sandra, myself, we want to promote you as one of the true specialists in all of Miami when it comes to Aventura Sunny Isles. But you told me before we started today that how much you know about Weston as well.
Yes.
And you want everybody in RelatedISG to know that any questions about Weston, Elizabeth she lived there for 12 years. And I can assure you when she tells you she knows it like the back of her hand, she does. She raised her children there.
That's right.
You know, you've watched it grow and grow and grow.
You know what was interesting about Weston? It was when many Venezuelans started to move to Miami. So when you were a realtor, you were not only showing homes. You had to show the schools. You had to show the system, how to live in the United States, which the idiosyncrasy is completely different than in Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, a realtor was main focused person that would bring you in. If you got good information, if you got treated right from the realtor, then you settled correctly. And I enjoyed that very much. I think I helped a lot of people, and I still feel those people are so thankful to me. And you know what? I've been in real estate since 2004. Now it's 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm helping my friends or my first clients' kids get their first apartments, their first rentals. And I'm loving it because
you have a strong referral business.
I have a very strong referral business, yes. And I'm very flattered by that. Having their kids call me, that means, they were happy.
Well, explain to your fellow colleagues in RelatedISG why along these lines, why do you enjoy doing rentals?
Okay. It's interesting.
Because for most agents, it's a pain in the neck. And there's no inventory out there, so leave me alone with the rentals.
When I started real estate, actually, the first company I joined, the administrative assistant told me, do not do rentals. They're a waste of time, they're little money, and they're a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And that stayed in my mind. And, my husband says, I like to do the opposite. So I went into rentals.
I understand that too.
you get it, right?
Yes, I do, yeah.
And that was a great decision, Craig, because those renters become buyers. And they are the most grateful. They will never go to another realtor if you do the rental for them, because nobody wants to do the rental. So you help them get that. A year later, they're calling you back. Elizabeth, please help me buy a place.
Well, do you do anything special? I'm sure you do. This is a pretty slow pitch from me to you. What do you do to keep you top of mind with the people you've either sold a home to or rented a home to make sure that you're the one they're going to call when they're ready to make another move?
Well, I want to say this to the camera: the power of relationships. That's what Related is all about, and that's how I keep it.
You make sure that
You
they
have
know
a
that you're always
relationship.
thinking
You
about
have,
them.
I don't have only a business relationship. As I said from the beginning, I help them get the kids into the right school. Where should they move so that they're in the right school boundary? You know, you become friends with these
Sure.
people.
You get invited to birthday parties and you attend.
Of course,
Yes.
of course, and we go out to lunch.
Sure.
And you invite them to their house, and you call and you say hi, how are you? But it's genuine, you know. I really care. How are you? How are you doing in your new house? How is there anything I can help with? And many times, yes, there are things that I can do even after I close. You can't forget your client after you close. You
No.
have to continue asking, you know, calling and making sure everything is okay.
It's beautiful, particularly given the changing landscape of where things are now, which is where I would love to go now in this conversation. So a year ago, it was June of 2020, and we started seeing some life out there, mostly a lot of people from Northeast coming down and looking to buy a house, mostly, not so much condos last June. It was a little sign of life. Now it's 12 months later, and oh my God, real estate is percolating everywhere, condos and houses and rentals. We're sitting here looking at the construction of the expansion of the Aventura Mall. South Florida is truly percolating like we've never seen before.
In every single city in South Florida.
Every single city. It's almost like the basic law of physics. Every action creates an equal or greater reaction. The reaction that we're receiving as a result of what happened in 2020 with COVID is just clearly unpredictable and almost unbelievable, but yet we're living through it every single day. So here's my question. So you know what's happened from January through the end of May. Your crystal ball for your colleagues in Related ISG. What does the rest of 2021 look like for both Weston and Aventura Sunny Isles? Your opinion.
Okay.
Where are the buyers coming from? What is inventory going to be like?
Look, Craig, buyers are not only coming from the Northeast or from California or from anywhere else in the United States and Canada. Buyers are coming from South America, like they have been coming. Unfortunately, South Americans are not, you know, they're not stable. So one day Colombia is doing great. The next day there's riots there. They start running back to South Florida again. And the same with Argentina, and the same with Peru. I mean, Miami is, the location is perfect for the north and the south to move in here, and it has a great weather. So honestly, if you ask, of course I don't have the crystal ball.
No, but I'm asking you to
by doing
give
this
us your
for
forecast.
18 years, I can only see South Florida growing and growing and growing, and there's not enough developments to put everybody in homes. So the prices keep increasing. There could be an adjustment, but then they will go up again. And I don't see the prices receding anywhere.
Most of the agents that I've spoken to this year in Related ISG are telling me that the majority of their sales are to people who are moving here permanently. Are you having the exact same experience?
I have both. I
Okay.
have, the best examples I have are clients that are moving here, they think is temporary. After 3 months or 6 months, they said, Elizabeth, I want to buy. I'm staying here. I'm moving my residency to Miami. And it's not just the weather, it's also the taxes. You know, if you live in New York, Connecticut, California, you pay crazy amount of taxes.
Yes, you do.
You move here, you pay kind of normal taxes.
Well, federal taxes, that's it.
Exactly, you
Yeah.
have state taxes, so that makes it very attractive. If you have that's why we have so many businesses establishing here, and that's why we have so many jobs opening here. So yeah, I think it's to stay. Yes, many will go back to New York. New York is New York, like we were saying before. Yeah, a lot of them are going to stay here.
Well, I have seen, we talked about this earlier today on Coffee with Craig show. The highways and byways of South Florida are jammed. In the month of June, this feels like December to me, particularly in Aventura, they're jammed, which tells me, oh my God, there are a lot of people that actually moved here during the pandemic.
Yes.
So yes, you're right. A lot of New Yorkers will return to New York, but those are your second home buyers / snowbird buyer that we've always enjoyed. There's a huge percentage of people from the Northeast, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, as just examples, that have moved here. They've surrendered their New York driver's license and they have a Florida driver's license. And they came here either with New York banks, New York hedge funds, or they're coming on their own and they're going to find a job or they're going to create a business.
Look, now you can work remotely, and the remote work is going to stay here for a long, long time. So you can work from wherever you want.
You know, I completely agree with you. And as a business owner, I used to get so frustrated when an employee would tell me they're going to work from home today, but I'll be in tomorrow. I'm sorry about 2017, 18, 19. But COVID changed all that. COVID changed business etiquette. It's totally cool to work remotely now. And business owners like me, we're shrinking the amount of square footage that we're renting because we don't need as much. I find that a
less overhead.
Little less overhead. And some of my employees, which is true of most companies, are even more productive when they work at home because they have less interruption. They focus more and they're enjoying their lives more. They also don't have to suffer traffic. So it's kind of funny how COVID's just changed so many
changing
things.
So many things, especially Miami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you were given an option to go to New York for any reason whatsoever and leave Miami, would you?
No, no way. I'm not giving up being able to go to the beach every day of my life. No way. You can rent a boat. Have you seen the Intracoastal every weekend?
It's a boat parade.
Every
single weekend.
And it's so easy to just go and rent a boat and have fun. You can rent boats, jet skis. You can just go to the beach. I mean, here is a vacation. Every Wednesday evening, I go with a friend to play paddle at the beach. It's a mini vacation right there. I couldn't do that if I was living in New York.
No, it's true.
There's no way.
No, it's so true. As I told you, I was up there for Memorial Day. And on Saturday in New York City, even though it's spring, 3 weeks from summer, it was 45 degrees and rainy. And as much as I love visiting my children and my grandchildren, I'm so happy, like you, that life put me in Miami 30-some years ago. And I'm sure you get a case of the giggles when you watch all these new people that have just relocated here in the last year or so, discovering Miami as if they discovered gold. And we've had this for so long. It's kind of cute though, because they're jumping up and down on one leg. They can't believe that they wake up every day to this magnificent climate and this great buzz and all these restaurants and good-looking people and joy in most people's faces.
Have you seen how many New York restaurants are opening here?
I do.
You can't get a reservation.
That's the other thing. Exactly.
I mean,
masks, no masks. Try getting a reservation in these new restaurants. Good luck.
And believe me, we try. We're foodies. We want to go to the really good ones.
Take pictures of what they serve.
This one, we've been trying. There are some restaurants, they are booked for the next 3 months.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful, and there's a reason these restaurateurs from New York are moving here and investing so much money here.
Of course, we love it. We absolutely love it.
It's always nice for me. It's truly a pleasure for me to meet someone who loves Miami as much as I do, if not even more. And I'm going to encourage everybody from RelatedISG, if you want to meet an extraordinary woman who really knows Miami, who understands real estate, who is fluent in 3 languages because she's went to university in Jerusalem. So her Hebrew is just as good as her English, let alone her Espanol from Venezuela. Elizabeth Margulis, please remember the name. Do yourself a favor. It's a treat to spend time with her. And I want to thank you for joining me today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Craig. I'm really flattered.
No, thank you. And I'll see you all in a couple weeks on the next Insider Series. Bye for now.
Thank you.